So now it has evaporated all of the water from the vegetables. What we're going to do now, we're going to start adding all of those different sauces into this, and then we're going to mix it all together and wait for the sauces to reduce so that it can just left with the flavor, not with the runniness. So I'm just using dark soya sauce, and not too much, just a little bit of it because it's very salty sauce. I'm using some green chili. This is not the spicy green chili, it has a sweeter side to it, because if you're going to make it for your kids, it has to be a little bit on the sweeter side, not on the spicy. If you are using the spicy green chili, you can turn up the tomato ketchup a bit more so that it gets onto the sweeter side. And just 1 cup of the vinegar. That's it. And now we're going to mix it all together. And we'll just wait for all of the sauces to reduce and just left with the flavor. So now that you can see, it has reduced a lot of its water and there is no runniness in this mixture. The last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add some spring onions to it, because as if you have noticed, we haven't added any of the onion or garlic or ginger to this. Some chopped just green onion. It's just the white stem of the onion. We're going to use the green stem of the onion just to garnish or give it a bit of a greeny color. So just mix the onion and our vegetable part is done here. As you can see, there is no water left, not even the runniness of the sauces that we added. So we're just going to take this out in an open pan, mixing different kind of flavors. So we'll just keep this to cool for a while and then we're going to mix it with some mashed potatoes. Now that the mixture is all cooled down, what we're going to do, we're going to add some more things into it. As I mentioned before, we're going to add the mashed potatoes. And just for a little bit of more flavor, I'm going to add some black olives. They are just roughly chopped olives. And now, instead of a spoon, I'm going to use my hands to mix this. So once it's all mixed, we're going to shape them into the cutlets, and then I'll also show you how I'm going to make a slurry with some white flour, because I don't have a corn flour at my home right now, so I'm just going to use the white flour to make the slurry. And the next step will be to dip the cutlets or the patties into the slurry and then coat them with the breadcrumb and then shallow fry them in a pan. And trust me, this is a really big hit among kids. My son loves it. He really likes it. And you can make the batch beforehand and also use it for the kids' lunches, picnics. It's really nice and really healthy as well. So as you see, it's all made now. Let's start making the cutlets into shape. So in order to make a shape, I would recommend take a spoon so that you'll have a measurement of how much is gone into one of them. So this is the size. I will use my hands, but if you're making them for the first time, use a measurement spoon. I'll take them in my hand like this and just give them a nice shape, just like this. And here it is. This is the one which we got now, and now let's make rest of them. Just take up some of batter and roll them first into a ball and then press and make it into a nice shape, just like this. I remember this from traveling in India via railways, and the railway pantry used to have these cutlets on their menu, and I always loved it. They used to serve it with some buttered bread and tomato ketchup, and as a kid I used to love eating them. So I thought, why not try to recreate them? I'm sure it's not the same, but it's close enough to my childhood memories. There it is. And yeah, see how nice they look after you make them. And that's it. There we go. So now for the slurry, I'm going to use some flour, and there is no measurements for the flour, but it has to be around half cup. And then use some water with a whisker. Just mix it so that it's nice and runny. So you see, just make sure there is no lumps in it. I'm just going to grab a spoon and make sure there is no lumps inside this. And here we go. See, I knew that it's going to stuck a little bit on the sides. We make the slurry just to make these patties hold the breadcrumb. And just a little bit more. We don't want it to be a tasteless as soon as you bite into it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some salt into it. That's it. And a little bit of pepper. There we go. That's it. That's all we needed. And just mix it up together. This is the consistency that we want. You can see this runny. Okay. And now I'm going to start doing the bread coating. So now that I have breadcrumbs here, I'm not going to put them in a plate because I use them in this box itself. So I've kept them in this broad box so I can just use it and cover it and keep it away. So to start with, I'm going just to take this. To start this, I'm going to take this, put it into the slurry with my hands itself and put it in here. Use one hand for crumbs and one hand for your slurry. So like tap this. And there we go. I'm going to put it here now. Take another one. Put it into the slurry. And put it right here. Coat it with the breadcrumb. Tap the excess off if you have any. And then just place it aside. Take another one. Just going to put this like this, and in the slurry or in that batter, and then in here, coat them. Make sure they're well coated on both sides. Tap the excess off. There we go. This is how we want them to look before doing the frying. Okay. I'm just going to take a little bit of a breadcrumb, throw in there and see if it's frying or not. So once it's all well heated, not even because all of our ingredients are well cooked, so we don't want it to be cooking in the oil for a really long time. We just want it to be heated enough to give it a golden color on each side. Now that oil is heated, I'm going to take one of the cutlet at a time. Make sure it's nicely packed, and I'm going to just take some oil and put it in the middle like this. Take another one, make sure it's nicely packed. Take some oil from the side and put it in the middle. Just like that. And we're going to just wait for them to have that golden color on each side. So now it's time to flip one. That's why I use the broad pan, so it's easy for me to just put my hand even in and try to flip them. So that's one side, and there we go. We need to give it a more of a golden color, so I'm just going to leave it for a little bit more while. So now let's try to flip it again, and there we have. It's very easy to deep fry them and give them a golden color, but then it won't be as crispy and tasty. It will be more on the soggy side of it. And also you can definitely, if you don't want to do even the frying in this, you can definitely bake them in the oven. You can finish them off in the oven, and oven will give them a nice golden touch as well. So now that you can see it's almost done from both sides, so we're just going to take it out in a plate and serve it with some chili vinegar and soya and vinegar dip. I'll just show you how I'm going to plate them. Here it is. I have this platter and I got these amazing little jars for the dips. So this dip is just the chili vinegar, and the other one which I made, I have made both of them. This is just soya sauce and vinegar. So they goes really well with these cutlets. So we're just going to take the cutlets and slide them on here like this. And I think I have the third one ready as well. So I'm just going to take that off the pan and slide them on there as well. There we go. And here we have the third one ready. There it is. Our mixed veg cutlets are ready. And I'm going to just put some green onion on top, just like this. They taste good anyways. So here we go. So this is a really, as I said, nice and kids friendly snack. I just have the rest of them cooking on the other side of the kitchen. And so do give it a try at home, and please leave in a comment how it turns out, and do not forget to subscribe, like and share SS Kitchen. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy cooking home food. Bye.